how to use and choose a tripod. Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for being here. And welcome back to our series on how to start a YouTube channel or some other type of video podcast. So I went on YouTube and I noticed a lot of people were searching for how to use a tripod. So I thought we would talk about how to use a tripod. We'll look at some features that some tripods might have and some accessories that you can buy for those and how you use all that stuff. And we'll talk about some tripods that I probably won't ever buy again and a tripod that I really like that I've had for a long time. Alright, most tripods will have these type of latches here where you just flip it open and then you're able to extend it as far as you need it. And then you just flip it closed, and then it locks it into place. The nice thing about that is that, say you're on uneven ground, you don't have to have them all extended at the same length, and you can have it level. So then up at the top, on the top here, you'll notice that there is a screw sticking out, and that's called a 1/4 20 thread. And that is what your camera or other accessories will connect to. Alright, on the top, some tripods will have a knob like this that you loosen, and then you put this where you want it, and then you tighten it back down, and that keeps that from going back down. And of course, I usually just put it all the way down in for storage. Some tripods, instead of having a knob right here to raise this whole thing, you can have a crank. And so what you do is you just spin that round and round and it'll go up and up and up. I actually sort of prefer this because it can be kind of hard if you're trying to do a smooth shot to go up and down. It can be a little bit harder to do it by just pulling this thing up and down when it's loosened. Whereas the crank, you can just sort of crank it whatever speed you need. So I kind of like this feature. This is a Dolica, or Dolica, I don't know how you pronounce that. Most tripods will have another knob that you loosen, and that will allow the tripod to go side to side. All my tripods have a handle like this, and what this allows you to do is to tilt up and down without getting your hand up in front of your lens and things like that, actually having to touch the camera. This, you give it a little twist, go up and down wherever you want it, twist it again, and it's locked into place. A lot of tripods will have a level here, so it'll help you get your camera level. Most tripods these days will have a quick release plate like this, where instead of having to unscrew whatever camera accessory you have on there and then screw the new one on all the time, you simply pull this latch, pop that off, pop your new one on, and you're good to go. You'll notice that there's this folding little handle here that allows you to turn the screw on the other side, and then when you get it where you want it, fold it out of the way, pop your plate on, and you're good to go. It's a good time saver. These quick release plates can really save you some time if you order some extra ones. Of course, when you're looking at tripods, you want to consider quality, but you can also consider the size, and that's pretty important. You can get these full-size ones, but you can also get little tabletop ones like this. Fold up really easily, stick that in your pocket, pretty cool. You can also get ones with bendable legs, so you can wrap it around like a fence post or a, tree limb, whatever you have handy. And unfortunately though, you sometimes get what you pay for. As you can see, this one's already broken. They're not really, this particular one comes apart really easily. So unfortunately, like I say, sometimes you get what you pay for. If you want a good quality one, they are a little more expensive, but if you get a GorillaPod by Joby, they are pretty good. So another thing that I want to point out about these cheaper bendable tripods is that they bend super easily. So the downside of that is that I have a Canon camera, and it's not even all that big. It's not a DSLR, it's just a regular point and shoot camera, but as soon as you put it on top of here, it goes whoop over to the side, and it can't hold the weight. So you might want a better one, especially if you're using anything bigger than a cell phone to record. You'll notice that some tripods have a hook on the bottom, and when you hang a bag of accessories on the bottom, not only does that give you somewhere to store your accessories out of the way, but it also provides a little bit of weight and makes that tripod bottom heavy so it doesn't tip over quite as easy. This is a phone holder, and it's spring-loaded, and it clamps down on your phone, and it has 1/4 threads in there so you can mount it right to your tripod. You can also get something like this, which is what this little tripod came with. This is called a gimbal. This particular one is called the DJI Osmo 3, and it's made to work with a smartphone, but you can get ones that work with a camera as well. And what a gimbal does is it's the average consumer's version of a Hollywood Steadicam. And so that word, Steadicam, kind of clues you in. So as you're walking, you don't get as much of that bouncy look. It's not perfect, but it does a pretty good job. I forgot to mention that this particular gimbal will actually follow you from side to side if you're using their app. So you set it on your tripod and you can walk around, have a wireless microphone on, and you can actually walk around your yard or workshop or whatever you're recording, and the camera will actually physically move and follow you. You could also get something like this product from SmallRig here, and what this does is it'll clamp onto things. And so you can clamp onto a railing, a branch, a door, whatever it is you happen to have handy. You get it in whatever sort of orientation you want it in. You tighten down this nut here, and that holds it into place. So that is a great option too. And you can see that it has the 1/4 threads on there, just like a tripod does. I don't own one of these, but I might in the future. This is a foldable tripod dolly. So what it is it has casters on it, and you can roll front and backwards, side to side, whatever you need to, without getting that up and down motion that you often get when you're walking with your camera. You can also get things like these that expand your capability of connecting things to your tripod. Things like microphones, lights, monitors, cameras, whatever. And so how it works is this female side screws onto your tripod, and then you have the male thread sticking up there so you can connect your camera or whatever. And at the other end, you have the same. You have female and male, so you can connect whatever you want. I'm also pretty sure that you can get these where you have multiple attachment points rather than just the two. By the way, you can pull these things out and flip them around in case you need it to be pointing the other way. One of the things that you might attach to one of these things is a cold or hot shoe mount. And so what this does is this has slots in it so you can slide other things in, such as a microphone. The bottom of this Rode microphone has this little thing here, slides in there, and you tighten down this nut and it holds it on there. And this is what that looks all put into place. This is a setup that I might use a lot, where you have a phone holder right there and then a microphone below. This is what it might look like with everything put into place. You can see I have a spot to put my phone. If I wanted, I could take that off, put a camera on there, and then I have a microphone here. All right, guys, this tripod right here, don't get it. Every single one of these legs, the support busted off. There's a metal pin right here, kind of goes down on some plastic down here. The plastic busted on all three of these. This leg came completely off. It busted right here where it meets up here. I can't even glue it on because the leg has to be able to go like this. So at this point, this tripod is just completely gone. It's just completely unusable at this point. It's not like I don't take care of my stuff, because I do. I mean, I even still have the manual here, so. This tripod I might consider again, simply because it's so compact and lightweight. The only downside is that over time, the really thin legs on the bottom, one of them got a little bent, and this rubber foot fell off, and that skinny rubber leg went inside the other part, and I can't get it back out. And so the only way that this is really going to be usable again in any way is to maybe put something over that hard plastic piece on the end, and so it doesn't scratch up a table, and just use it as like a tabletop tripod. But I suppose it could still be usable in that way. This tripod from Dolica, however you pronounce that, is my oldest and the only one that is still intact of full-size tripods. And there you go. I hope you've enjoyed this overview of how to use a tripod and what accessories you can get for them. If you have any questions for me, drop them in the comments. I'd love to talk to you down there. If you have any tripods or any accessories that you've loved to use with your tripod, let me know. I'd love to hear about those too. In case you just happen to stumble across this video and haven't seen the rest of the playlist yet, I'll go ahead and link that in the description. Thanks again for taking the time to watch the video, and I'll see you next time. Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for being here. And there you go. I hope you've enjoyed this look at tripods. If you have any questions for me, drop them in the description. But I noticed that a lot of people were searching on how to use a tripod, so I thought we'd talk about how to use a tripod and then talk about some of the features that some of them that might have there. And there you go. I hope you've enjoyed this overview of all the sirens. Man, there are a lot of sirens going on right now. Sheesh. Alright, but some tripods, instead of that knob on the top, you'll have this sort of crank. That's what I couldn't think of. And then you can tilt up and down, and then when you want it locked in place, you just twist it, and it... Okay.